What if your thoughts are not you? There is a voice in your head. It has been speaking for as long as you can remember. It speaks when you wake up. It speaks when you work. It speaks when you are alone. It comments on everything. It judges. It worries. It compares. It plans. And because this voice has always been there, most people never stop to question it. They simply assume, this is me. But what if it isn't? What if the voice inside your head is not who you are? At first, this may sound like a strange question, but it may be one of the most important questions a person can ask. Because many people spend their entire lives listening to that voice without ever asking who is listening. Think about it. Have you ever noticed a thought appear in your mind? A fear, a memory, a worry, a judgment. For a moment it appears, then it disappears. Yet something notices it. Something is aware of it. And this is where things become interesting. If you can observe a thought, how can you be the thought? If you can hear the voice, how can you be the voice? Most people do not lose their direction in a single day. It happens slowly. A fear that is never questioned, a belief that is never examined, a story repeated so many times that it begins to feel true. At first, it seems harmless, but over time, it starts shaping decisions. A person avoids opportunities, avoids conversations, avoids challenges, avoids possibilities, not because reality told them to, but because a story inside their mind did. Someone receives criticism. The moment lasts only a few seconds, but the story remains. Days pass, months pass, years pass, yet the mind continues repeating the same message. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not capable. Maybe I will fail. The event ended long ago, but the story survived. And sometimes it is not reality that shapes a life. It is the story we continue telling ourselves about reality. Some people spend years believing they are not good enough. Not because it is true, but because they heard it once, and the mind never let it go. Others carry old failures for years, long after the event has ended, long after everyone else has forgotten. Yet the mind keeps returning to the same story, replaying it, strengthening it, repeating it until the story begins to feel more real than reality itself. The same thing happens with fear. A fear about the future, a fear of rejection, a fear of failure. The mind repeats the story so often that a person begins to organize their life around it, not around reality, but around the fear. This is how invisible patterns are created, not in a single moment, but through repetition. A single thought may not change a life, but a thought repeated thousands of times can influence an entire future. This is why awareness matters. Not because awareness magically solves every problem, but because awareness allows us to see what is happening, to notice the thought, to question it, to understand it, and sometimes to stop following it. This leads to a deeper question. If you can notice a thought, who is noticing it? If you can hear the voice in your head, who is listening? For a moment, forget the thought itself. Forget whether it is positive or negative, true or false. Instead, pay attention to the one who is aware of it. Thoughts come and go, but awareness remains. A fear appears. Awareness notices it. A memory appears. Awareness notices it. A judgment appears. Awareness notices it. The thoughts change. The observer remains. Perhaps the goal is not to silence the mind. Perhaps the goal is not to fight every thought. And perhaps freedom does not come from controlling the mind. Perhaps it begins with understanding it, with observing it, with becoming aware of the stories and fears that quietly shape our lives. Because a thought can influence a moment. A belief can influence a decision. A decision can influence a direction, and a direction repeated over years can shape an entire future. Maybe real change begins the moment a person notices a thought and realizes, I do not have to believe everything my mind tells me. Because thoughts come and go, but awareness remains. And perhaps beyond the noise of the mind, beyond the fears, beyond the endless stream of thoughts, there is something deeper, something quieter, something wiser, something that has been there all along, waiting to be noticed. And perhaps that is what lies beyond the mind,